Welcome to IBG-TV. I'm your host, Mike Hill, and with me today is Diane Davidson. Hi, Diane.
Hello, Mike.
Well, Diane, today we're going to be talking a little bit about PayLink, but let's start out with, what is PayLink?
So PayLink's a company that helps dealers offer a 0% finance option for their service contract sales.
Okay. Well, why do we need 0% financing?
It gives consumers who wouldn't normally be able to pay for a service contract the ability to get that coverage in a simple, affordable way. And having that coverage of a service contract is really important, as you know, to ensure that happy relationship with the dealer and the customer.
Okay. Well, why is PayLink, that option for PayLink, important now as opposed to any other time?
With the interest rates going up over 5% now on the auto loans, a lot of our customers are just super rate sensitive. And we also have customers on the service drive that have purchased cars elsewhere, or our customers that are coming up at the end of their factory coverage, and they're just wanting to add that coverage on. And rather than paying $3,500 all at once, it's a lot easier to come up with a $350 down payment. So it's just a 10% down program, and they just pay the balance at no interest over time.
Well, sounds great so far. Are there any kind of issues or concerns that a dealer should be aware of when using PayLink?
A couple of them. The terms are limited, so they have 4 payment terms. It's a 6, a 12, 18, or 24 months. It's not to exceed half of the coverage term. So as you know, we have those 10-year contracts, but the maximum term that they can finance is 24 months. So if they do a 36-month coverage period, for example, the maximum term would be half of that, which is 18 months.
I see.
And then also the cancellations can be kind of complicated because there are 4 people involved, right? You have PayLink, the consumer, and you have the accounting department, and of course you have portfolio.
I see. Okay. Well, are there any situations where a dealer should probably not be using PayLink?
Well, most of the same situations where you wouldn't even sell a service contract. So towaways or wholesale vehicles, something that is a known or pre-existing condition, you wouldn't want to do that.
Okay. Well, can you give us some examples or situations where our dealers have been using PayLink?
Yeah. With the lenders changing their parameters up, it's important in a couple situations, both with first-time buyers because they're capping the total amount financed there, and then on self-employed people or tipped people, they're capping their monthly payment on that based on what they can verify. So it's really helpful there. It also helps with customers who are trying to save some money. At 5% interest on a 72-month loan, you're looking at, if you add $3,500 to that contract, you're going to pay over $500 in interest. And if that rate goes up to 9%, now you're paying over $1,000. So it makes a pretty big impact for the customer to be able to use that 0%. And then we also have those customers that thought that they might be trading before the factory warranty came up, but due to circumstances in their life or the economy, they're just keeping those vehicles a little bit longer. So it helps to be able to just come up with that $350 and then finance the rest of the money over term.
Okay. Well, we hear 0%, and we've seen other things when 0% is presented, it's really hard to qualify for it. Tell me, what are the qualifications to get that 0% financing?
That's probably the best part for both the dealer and the customer. There is no credit check required. The only thing they need, they can either debit it directly from the checking account or a credit or debit card.
Oh, perfect. Now, I know you're going to be going over at the end of this, you're going to be going over a tutorial, okay, just showing exactly how to create the contract. But can you give us just an example of what needs to be done?
So a really simple 6-step process. The first step is to create the service contract. They can do that online, of course, but you can do it manually as well. And then they'll generate the PayLink contract right from the same website, or they can do a manual contract. You want to collect the 10% down payment from the customer. You can do that check, cash, or credit card, however the dealer wants to do it or the customer wants to do it. And then you'll generate a calculation worksheet and enter it in the DMS. Then you'll give copies to the customer and the originals to the office. It's that easy.
It sounds simple enough. Thanks, Diane.
Sure thing, Mike. And anybody that has any questions about accessing the tutorials, you should be able to get to that information below.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.